Welcome to practice. I'm Casey, and today we are going to be continuing with our Lenten Bible Restorative Yin series. Lenten is the time leading up to the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. Bible means that I will be reading portions of the Bible in our practice today. And restorative is a type of yoga that utilizes a lot of props. Generally, it doesn't have to, but generally utilizes a lot of props and means that you'll be relaxing into postures, not really trying to hold an edge or find any tension, but really restoring yourself. Yin is what we do here, and that's meaning that we will be holding postures for longer periods of time. Today, I will be reading the resurrection morning account, as well as my very favorite story in the Bible, which is called Breakfast by the Sea. It's a story about Jesus and the time where in between when he was resurrected and when he ascended into heaven. I just really love this story. I think it's really sweet to kind of put myself in the situation of what was happening there, and it just helps me feel a lot of love from Jesus in a way that I can interpret that as just a human being. So it's really special to me, and I hope that you enjoy it today. I'll be reading these two stories, but in two different versions. If you are interested in where I'm reading in the Bible or what versions I read from, that's in the description below. Maybe you don't know Jesus, and I would just really encourage you to maybe just give it a try. Today's practice is just about 25 minutes, so not too long. And really, if there was ever one to try out, today's would be the day, because the resurrection is like a pretty big deal, but also the other story, I just think it's really sweet and lovely. Maybe you give it a shot and you just don't like it. I would suggest looking at my series called Simply Yin. They're just about as long as these are. Props I would suggest to bring today, for sure, if you can, bring a blanket and a bolster or pillow. And a block, if you don't have a block, just another blanket. So 2 blankets if you don't have a block. If you're ready and you have all the props that you would like, and if your dog is willing to sit with you today, maybe they are, maybe they aren't, meet me back here in a comfortable seat, and let's jump right in. Grab your blanket and roll it up to about 1 inch to 2 inch height. Place it parallel about 1/4 down from the top of your mat. You want to lay your shoulder blades on it, so position accordingly. Turn away from the roll. Plant your feet a little wide on the mat. Bend the knees and let them knock into one another. Lay down onto your back, placing the towel under your shoulder blades, arms on top of the roll. Cactus the arms. After the Sabbath, as the first light of the new week dawned, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to keep vigil at the tomb. Suddenly, the earth reeled and rocked under their feet as God's angel came down from heaven, came right up to where they were standing. He rolled back the stone and sat on it. Shafts of lightning blazed from him. His garments shimmered snow white. The guards at the tomb were scared to death. They were so frightened they couldn't move.
the angel spoke to the woman, "There is nothing to fear here. I know you're looking for Jesus, the one they nailed to the cross. He is not here. He was raised, just as he said. Come and look at the place where he was placed. Now get on your way quickly and tell the disciples he is risen from the dead. He is going on ahead of you to Galilee. You will see him there." That's the message. The women, deep in wonder and full of joy, lost no time in leaving the tomb. They ran to tell the disciples. Then Jesus met them, stopping them in their tracks. "Good morning," he said. They fell to their knees, embraced his feet, and worshipped him. Jesus says, "You're holding on to me for dear life. Don't be frightened like that. Go tell my brothers that they are to go to Galilee and that I'll meet them there." Gently and slowly roll onto one side. Stay here for a few breaths. Push yourself up to a seat. Move the blanket off your mat. Bring your bolster by you. Lie back down onto your back. Plant your feet on your mat and lift your hips. Place your bolster right under your lower back and sacrum, parallel to the top of your mat. Rest the body down onto your prop. Observe how this feels in the low back. This may be where you want to stay, or let your legs go long. After this, Jesus appeared again to the disciples, this time at the Tiberias Sea. This is how he did it. Simon Peter, Thomas, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, the brothers Zebedee, and 2 other disciples were together. Simon Peter announced, "I'm going fishing." The rest of them replied, "We're going with you." They went out and got in the boat. They caught nothing that night. When the sun came up, Jesus was standing on the beach, but they didn't recognize him. Jesus spoke to them. "Good morning. Did you catch anything for breakfast?" They answered, "No." He said, "Throw the net off the right side of the boat and see what happens." They did what he said. All of a sudden, there were so many fish in it, they weren't strong enough to pull it in. Then the disciple Jesus loved said to Peter, "It's the Master." When Simon Peter realized that it was the Master, he threw on some clothes, for he was stripped for work, and dove into the sea. The other disciples came in by boat, for they weren't far from land, 100 yards or so, pulling along the net full of fish. When they got out of the boat, they saw a fire laid with fish and bread cooking on it. Jesus said, "Bring some of the fish you've just caught." Simon Peter joined them and pulled the net to shore, 153 big fish. And even with all those fish, the net didn't rip. Jesus said, breakfast is ready." Not one of the disciples dared ask, "Who are you?" They knew it was the Master. Jesus then took the bread and gave it to them. He did the same with the fish. This was now the third time Jesus had shown himself alive to the disciples since being raised from the dead. If your legs are long, bend the knees and plant the feet onto the floor. Gently lift your hips to remove the bolster. Use your hands to come up to a seat. About where you placed your rolled up towel before, place your block, baby or mama bear height lengthwise. Turn to face the bottom of your mat and lie down so that your back is right between the shoulder blades. It may feel best to place your blanket over the block. Move your block to a different height or place a bolster or pillow under your head. If you do these modifications and this still doesn't feel relaxing in your body, make a ramp with your blocks and bolster and lie your back on it. Place the arms out to the sides in a cactus or W shape. Now, after the Sabbath, toward the dawn of the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothing white as snow. And for fear of him, the guards trembled and became like dead men. But the angel said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, for he has risen, as he said. Come, see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead, and behold, he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him. See, I have told you." So they departed quickly from the tomb with fear and great joy, and ran to the disciples. And behold, Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." And they came up and took hold of his feet and worshipped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee, and there they will see me." Slowly roll off your props onto one side. We'll take some time here to breathe. Push yourself up to a seat. Stretch your legs long in front of you. Place your bolster under your knees. Make sure the knees are deeply bent. Place your blanket or a pillow between your knees. Fold over so your head is resting on your prop. this posture is a counter posture to all of our back bends today. After this, Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias, and he revealed himself in this way: Simon Peter, Thomas, called the twin, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and 2 others of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, "I am going fishing." They said to him, "We will go with you." They went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Just as day was breaking, Jesus stood on the shore, yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, "Children, do you have any fish?" They answered him, "No." He said to them, "Cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." So they cast it, and now they were not able to haul it in because of the quantity of fish. That disciple whom Jesus loved therefore said to Peter, "It is the Lord." When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself into the sea. The other disciples came in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not far from the land, but about 100 yards off. When they got out on land, they saw a charcoal fire in place, with fish laid out on it, and bread. Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish that you have just caught." So Simon Peter went aboard and hauled the net ashore, full of large fish, 153 of them. And although there were so many, the net was not torn. Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." Now none of the disciples dared ask him, "Who are you?" They knew it was the Lord. Jesus came and took the bread and gave it to them, and so with the fish. This was now the 3rd time that Jesus was revealed to the disciples after he was raised from the dead. Slowly roll your spine up. Remove the pillow resting between your knees, leaving the bolster where it is. Roll back onto the back. You may choose to keep the bolster under your knees or remove it to come into your closing posture today. Whichever variation you take, let your feet splay out. Relax the thighs. Roll the shoulders down the back. let the hands rest where they fall away from the body. Consciously relax your throat, your jaw, your tongue, your eyes, your forehead. You've likely switched from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system by now. Take this time to allow your body to just let go completely. You may use this time as a conscious prayer, a time to listen for the whispers of the Spirit, or something else entirely. At any rate, this is your time of peace, protected from thoughts that can wait for you for a few minutes. Right now, just be. Bring some gentle, sweet movements back into your body. I think you're awesome for taking some time out of your day to fill yourself back up and to meditate on the Word of God. I hope you know you're awesome too. Bring your hands to prayer at your forehead. Take in a long inhale. Through the mouth, release it. Take care of yourselves and each other. Namaste.